Can't we teach people how to adjust themselves? It's easy. In most instances, it's delicate, sensitive, very scientific. Just being a good person who's got love in his heart and who emits love. Learn how to shake hands with people. When you shake hands, a certain amount goes from you to them. A certain amount of that energy will adjust you. You see it all the time in old Benny Hinn's program, all these faith healers. He emits. Faith healers for years have emitted. I never will forget one time when I was, Dr. Nell and I were first in practice. Two ladies came from LaGrange, Georgia. We lectured every day at 1 o'clock till 1:45. Then we took the patients, you see. There'd be 35 people in a seat. They'd all come in, have to have a 30-minute lecture. I was having a particularly good day, lost within myself. I was a good emission, a good flow going through me, a tingly, warm, dedicated, thoughtless state. I went out into the group, and in fact, she was on the front row. I shook this lady's hand. And I didn't know that this lady next to her was the patient. I never saw the patient because they checked in, but then they left. 2 days later, a doctor from LaGrange called me. I want to know who the healer is out there in Australia. Who's the guy that don't even lay his hands on patients and they get cured? I said, well, if they come to this clinic, here's me or Dr. Nell one. Tell me about it. He tells me this story. My friend, who's a patient of yours, brings this other lady who has a withered hand. I said, it described the withering. He said, it's bent up and it's just hanging down like a claw. He said she was sitting in the room with her purse over this hand. Said she has a towel or a cloth or a fur or a muff to cover up this hand. It's like this. You came out and shook hands, according to the doctor. You came out and shook hands with her friend. And as you stood there, this hand just withered. It said before she got home, she had normal movement in that hand. Said, now I hope you're not bringing some kind of faith healing organization into chiropractic up here. I hear you don't have a fee. I hear you're doing 150, 200, sometimes 300 people a day. I hear you got 2 or 3 Cadillacs or Mercedes-Benz, everything you can buy, but you don't have a fee. Now you're going into faith healing. He said, explain it. I said, well, that particular day I had a high emission quality. Tom Oliver, he's straight. Tom Oliver knows you can read a patient a lot of times. You can check a patient's legs a lot of times. And the second reading will not be near as severe as the first reading. The third reading will be even better, and the fourth reading will be completely clear, and you'll check the balance, and the legs will be even. This is nothing unusual for an emitter of energy, as the concept is, suppose this patient only needed 10-cent life energy, and I shook her hand, and I transmitted 15%. She absorbed the 15%. That was enough to correct her subluxation. And it did correct her subluxation. And it happens more often than not. As you get involved in loving, friendly, warm, dedicated service of giving to your fellow man. As you learn to give unselfishly, the inner strength of you gives unselfishly.